fact that I literally predicted this year's Hollywood Casino 400 with freaking Zane Smith's flip in the same series is freaking wild. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you guys are watching this on. Here we are at Sonoma Raceway here in Sonoma, California. We are back in the United States as we begin the 5th race of the NASCAR Fastenel Cup Series, our first road course of the schedule here at Sonoma Raceway for the Toyota Save Mart 350. Man, 2 weeks ago at Bermuda Triangle, we have seen a wild race and we saw a lot of things unfold during that race. We saw an upset victory and Justin Allgaier, who was only expecting to make 2 starts here in this series, ended up getting the victory in a thriller finish at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway, holding off Joey Logano and Noah Gragson. And boy, let me tell you what, that was a popular victory for sure over there at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway. But not only that, but we had a big change in the points where Truex Jr., who was the points leader coming into Bermuda Triangle, now finds himself in the 4th place position after finishing 27th in that race. Chris Buescher now finds himself as the points leader over his boss over at RFK Racing, Brad Keselowski, by only 1 point. So we'll see how things shape up here at Sonoma Raceway for our first road course race of the schedule. Now let's take a look at your starting lineup here for the Toyota Save Mart 350 and take a look where your favorite drivers are starting here in this field. Well, this should be a surprise to everybody, but Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be starting on pole here today at Sonoma Raceway. William Byron is going to start alongside of him in 2nd place, but how about Aaron Jones in the number 43, who's going to start 3rd here today in row number 2. Kyle Busch in the number 8 starts 4th in the World Wallet Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Row 3 is an all-Chase row, as Chase Elliott in the number 9 is going to be starting 5th, with Chase Briscoe in the 14 starting in 6th. Still trying to make a comeback in points. Daytona 500 winner Alex Bowman in row number 4 starting in the 7th place position, and there's Danny Hamlin in the number 11 FedEx Freight Toyota starting in 8th. Back in the Pennzoil colors, we have Joey Logano in the number 22 starting 9th, with Ty Gibbs in the number 54 rounding up the top 10 in row number 5. Row 6, we have Brian Priest in the number 41 starting 11th, and we have Daniel Suarez in the number 99 starting in 12th. 13th, we have Truex Jr. in the number 19 Toyota, and Kyle Larson in the number 5 starting 14th in row 7. Daniel Hemrick's going to start 15th. Alongside of him, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in number 47, trying to see if he can continue his strong start to the season. He starts in 16th. Row 9 and 17th, we have Justin Haley in the number 7 and Ross Chastain looking to try to see if he can make at least a decent comeback in points. He's currently 33rd in points. He needs to turn things back around starting today. He's going to start 18th here. Austin Dillon coming up with a strong points-paying race for him at Bermuda Triangle. He starts 19th here today. And AJ Allmendinger in the number 16 rounds up the top 20 back in row number 10. Here in Pat, we see our Busch Light Clash winner Carson Hocevar starting 21st, with Todd Gilliland alongside of him in the number 38 starting 22nd. His teammate Michael McDowell not far from him. He starts 23rd here today, and Brad Keselowski in the 6th starting 24th. He needs to at least make the comeback because remember, he's 2nd in points, 1 point behind Chris Buescher, so he needs to at least make a comeback here if he wants to continue on with that championship battle. And in row number 13, we have Harrison Burton in number 21 in the Dets Imaging colors, and there is Josh Berry in the number 4, starting in the 26th position. Row 14, we have Cody Ware in the number 51, still on probation here, starting 27 here today, and Ryan Blaney starting 28th here today. Not a good qualifying effort for Blaney, so hope he can catch up later today. But Chris Buescher, however, really needs to catch back up to the field here because he's our current points leader right now, and he starts 29th. Back in row number 15, so he really needs to catch back up if he wants to at least maintain his points lead over his boss Brad Keselowski. And making his first start here today, starting 30th, is the 15 of Jenson Button, one of the road course racers that will be racing here today. Row 16, we have Noah Gragson, who came up 3rd at Bermuda Triangle. He's going to start 31st here today, and Austin Cindric, not with a good qualifying lap either. He's going to start 32nd right beside him. And once again, we have some heavy hitters rounding out the pack. We have Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, and Tyler Reddick. If they want to still be in the championship hunt, they need to at least catch back up to the front of the pack. But they're going to be in a precarious situation here, as all 3 of them altogether did not have great qualifying efforts. But here is Catherine Legg in the number 78, the first lady to ever make an appearance here in the NASCAR Fastenel Cup Series, and there's John Hunter Nemechek in the number 42, starting 37th, rounding up the field. At least it wasn't Cody Ware this time. However, though, we only have one driver that wasn't so lucky here today, and he is our only driver that was unable to qualify here today, that being the 55 of JJ Yaley. I mean, what can I say? The 55 team really isn't that fast, so unfortunately, JJ Yaley was not able to qualify here today, so he's going to be going home, and he is going to be watching this on the couch. But I think I've also heard he could get more opportunities from a different team, that being Ritware Racing. We'll get more into that in a little bit, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and go trackside and get the engines fired here to begin the Toyota Save Mart 350 here at Sonoma Raceway. Let's go ahead and get those engines fired.
For God and country, drivers, start your engines!
A gorgeous day here at Sonoma Raceway. It's going to be a great day of racing here as we had a swing of left and right hand turns here at Sonoma Raceway. This turn right here in particular is going to be the most challenging, as this is going to require most of the braking that's going to be required here at this track. But I bet these guys are really to take the challenge. Obviously, we know Shane Van Gisbergen really good at these road courses here. So we'll see how he can hold on to the lead here as the pace car is now on pit road as we're about to get ready to start the first road course race here of the series. The green flag is out and we are finally racing here in the Sonoma Mountains. And not a huge surprise, Shane Van Gisbergen gets the early lead here as he already has a 2-car length lead over Eric Jones. But look at Kyle Busch way down under the bottom end of the gravel. We're going to see a lot of that here today with a lot of guys into the gravel. As I think we also saw Joey Logano also getting into the gravel right there. And there's more getting into the gravel right there. I'm not sure who that was. It could have been the 9 or the 54. But I believe that was the 9 of Chase Elliott. That also went into the gravel there. As we entered into turn number 7, this one right here is also going to be another challenging turn for a lot of these drivers here. Of course, we saw at IRL, we've seen multiple guys get turned around here in this turn. But it looks like they were able to negotiate through turn number 7 cleanly here on the first lap. And of course, we also have 20 laps here in Sonoma Raceway, so it's not going to be that long of a race because obviously this track is a full 2.52 mile long 12-turn course. But still, it's still around the same distance like what we usually see here in this series. But even though it's a road course, that's why we have smaller laps here. As we see Eric Jones in the 43, now in the second place position. How about that for Eric Jones? Definitely need a day like this so far right now. Entering in this race, Eric Jones is only 32nd in the point standings right now, so he's pretty deep so far in the point standings right now. So he needs to at least have a good day here today. If he could stay in the top 5 here in this race, that will be a very good day for him for sure to get him up back in points. Same for Kyle Larson. Oh, and someone's off into the gravel, and that's Tarzan Hocevar on number 77. Once again, he spins about in the gravel, entering turn number 3, and he's going to try to get back into the asphalt, and he does. Now he's going to lose a ton of positions here, and apparently the caution is apparently out. They decided to bring out a full course caution. I'm not sure if this is NASCAR Heat 5 or not, but apparently strict yellows are on, as Tarzan Hocevar just went around in turn number 3. But apparently the caution is out for a full course yellow. We're going to take a look back here and see what happened to Tarzan Hocevar. Was he being an idiot again, or did he get some help? When we got into the gravel there, tried to get back onto the track, but had no idea that the 4 of Josh Berry was right there onto this inside. So obviously another Tarzan Hocevar moment right there. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Josh Berry had no idea that was coming. But now Hocevar has lost all of those positions, and he's more than likely going to be last here now as we come into this restart here. But yeah, definitely a tough break for a Busch Light Clash winner, Tarzan Hocevar in the number 77, already going around with issues on lap number 2 here. And we're going to take a little ride along here with Tarzan Hocevar, obviously minding his own business, and then here comes Josh Berry with the run.
1.5.
Got way wide right there, got into the gravel, and then obviously came back in front of traffic, and obviously didn't realize that the 4 was actually getting a run on the inside before it was too late. So someone really said that wasn't Tarzan Hocevar's fault this time. Well, obviously it didn't take long for our first caution to come out here on lap number 2, with Tarzan Hocevar and Josh Berry tangling along, with Tarzan Hocevar going around in the gravel in turn number 3. And our first restart of the day is going to be taking place here when we come back here from this commercial break. You're watching the Toyota Save Mart 350 for the NASCAR Fastenel Cup Series here on Racing Energy 12 Productions. Welcome back to Sonoma Raceway here as we're about to restart here on lap number 5. Shane Van Gisbergen continues to lead here with Eric Jones behind him in second. William Byron continues to be in the third place position right now as we're about to restart here. And whoa, a little bump draft right there from the 43 of Eric Jones to the 91. We haven't even started yet and already they're still trying to give each other bump drafts. So our pace car is already on pit road right now and we're going to be restarting here. And we're going to do our first restart here of the day after the first caution came out for Carson Hocevar spinning around in turn number 3. Shane Van Gisbergen is going to lead us down to the restart. And here we go. Restart here on lap number 5 here in wine country. Restart should not be that chaotic because obviously, apparently, they don't want them double file here in this series. So they're going to have to... So every restart is going to have to be single fire here, no matter what race it is. And everybody's in the gravel again. William Byron this time was in the gravel again, but I think Kyle Busch was also in the gravel as well. And I believe the 40 of Alex Bowman was also in the gravel too. And continuing to get into the gravel here. Like I said, it may not be that chaotic of a restart here, but everybody is still getting into the gravel right there, coming into turn number 3 and 4. But of course, Kyle Busch, as we mentioned, he has had a much more improved season this year than how he was in the first 2 races at Daytona and Charlotte. Because, of course, Daytona, he finished a lap down to the 31st position. And at Charlotte, he finished 28th after getting caught up in an accident. So, these last couple of days have really been what Kyle Busch definitely needed. Alex Bowman, on the other hand, he has been really having a collapse so far after winning the Daytona 500, as he's side-by-side right now with the 41 of Priest. Of course, after he won the Daytona 500, he was leading the point standings with Justin Haley right beside him. And then all of a sudden, he got into an accident on lap 9 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which dropped him down below the top 10 in points. He is currently running right now in the top 10 so far here today. And obviously, he really needs to start picking up the pace if he wants to get back, at least try to attend for the points again. As we see Martin Truex Jr., who coming into the previous race at Bermuda was leading the points, but had a terrible day there. Now all of a sudden, he finds himself 4th in the point standings right now. And obviously, we know that Martin Truex Jr. won the Coca-Cola 600. So obviously, that win definitely helped him out a ton, because if it wasn't for that win, I'm sure he would have dropped significantly in points, and he will be in a precarious situation to get back in points. You see Justin Haley and Austin Dillon currently side by side right now, and Michael McDowell with a little bit in the fray. And of course, we mentioned Justin Haley. He was also second in the points. He finished second in the Daytona 500. Also had a collapse so far. And his collapse has been noticeable in points. He was second at Daytona, then all of a sudden at Charlotte, he went from 13th and then all the way down to 14th after Kansas, and now he currently finds himself 17th in the points right now. Austin Dillon, however, who led the most laps at Bermuda Triangle, now finds himself 15th in points after he was 26th coming in after Kansas. So definitely a big jump in the points for Austin Dillon, but Shane Van Gisbergen, however, really needs something here, especially at a road course, as he is 26th so far here in the point standings. Obviously, the ovals have been a real challenge for Shane Van Gisbergen, and obviously, since we don't have that much road courses, he really needs to try to at least improve on those ovals, because we only have, I think that we only have 2 road courses on the schedule, if I'm not mistaken. So Shane Van really needs to have a good day here at the road course, and really needs to at least improve on the ovals. While Eric Jones, however, like I said, 32nd in the points right now. So if he can finish where he is right now, he can have a big boost in the points. Still got a little ways to go, though, because this is still only the 7th lap of this race. So we still got a little more than halfway to go here of this race here at Sonoma. As we take a look at some of the pad, looks like everybody is still straight right now. Everybody has slightly calmed down now, as it's now a 2-2 train around this whole entire track. We do have some guys going off the gravel, though, but it seems like they all were able to negotiate through. But Bubba Wallace, though, still not even close to the top 10, and not even close to the top 20 either, as he's right behind Cody Ware in the 51. And honestly, we said at the beginning that we know that J.J. Yaley was unable to qualify here in this race. But like we said before, J.J. Haley could actually have an opportunity to race for this particular team in general, because as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard rumors going on that Cody Ware can actually be booted by race officials if he doesn't pick up the pace in these next couple of races. So not only that Cody Ware is going to have to be careful for not causing wrecks, but now he's got to be careful of underwhelming finishes. Oh my, and Justin Haley just slammed into the tire barriers.
What the hell?
We saw that from the onboard shot of Justin Haley just going straight into the tire barriers. Looks like he got a little bit of help from Michael McDowell, because looks like he was also in the fray of this as well. But Haley fans, I am super sorry, because I ended up jinxing Haley, because we were just talking about how Justin Haley is trying to at least come back from a collapse. But now this is really not going to be good for Justin Haley now, as he's going to drop more in points now, and he's probably going to be out of the top 20 after the end of this race. As we take a look at this unfolding here, this was coming into turn number 3 and 4. This was another challenging turn for a lot of these guys today. Oh, yeah, right there. Haley was way wide down on the bottom there, and Michael McDowell looks like got hit when Justin Haley was right there on the bottom side, because looks like Michael McDowell also hit the tire barriers as well. This angle right here will definitely show if Michael McDowell does indeed hit the wall, as Justin Haley goes way down low. And right there, Michael McDowell just grazed the tire barriers, but he was able to keep it rolling. But Justin Haley just tattooed those tire barriers. So I believe this could very well be a day ender for the 7 of Justin Haley, as we ride along with Michael McDowell, with Haley a couple car lengths behind him. And here comes Haley with the run. Obviously, McDowell had no idea that he was coming, and slam. Obviously, McDowell was able to keep it rolling. He only hit the wall just slightly, though, but not as much as Justin Haley, as he went nose deep in there as we ride along with Justin Haley. And this is just the worst case scenario. If you have a run down on the bottom, someone's on top, you really have no other option right there, as Justin Haley slams into the tire barrier, and I'm being told that he has climbed out of the car and he is done for the day. Second full course caution of the day on lap 8, where Justin Haley and Michael McDowell trades paints, and Justin Haley slams into the tire barriers, and Haley is done for the day. We'll be right back after this commercial break with more. We're back here at Sonoma Raceway. As you see, the pace car enters pit road as we look at one of our pit road cameras here, as the field is getting ready to take the restart here on lap number 11. After our second caution with Justin Haley crashing into the tire barriers, he is confirmed done for the day, and he will be the first car out of the Toyota Save Mart 350. As we take the restart here on lap number 11, Shane Van Gisbergen continues to lead here at Sonoma Raceway. But now let's see, will they make it through cleanly this time? Nope, Chase Ellis is going to go down to the gravel. Looks like Hamlin slightly got it. Now you see Bowman and Truex also in the gravel. And around goes the 5 of Kyle Larson into the gravel at the same section where Tarzan Osavar got spun around. He's able to get it going once again, and everybody continues to be in the gravel as they exited into turn number 6. And apparently this is NASCAR Heat 5 and not NR 2003, because apparently a full course caution is now out here after Kyle Larson spun out. Not sure why exactly, but I guess they just have strict yellows on, so I guess this is NASCAR Heat 5. There's Kyle Larson. Obviously lost a ton of positions there as he was running inside the top 15 before this spin unfolded. Let's take a look. Coming into this turn, pretty much almost everybody was in the gravel right here. At this point, you really can't even see anything. And there you see Kyle Larson spinning around in the background. I don't know if that was the reason that caused Kyle Larson to spin around back there. But yeah, everybody continues to be in the gravel right there, reducing visibility. That's kind of like what we saw from Carson Hocevar and Josh Berry on lap number 2. It's just where Kyle Larson was so down there in the bottom. And obviously with so much visibility, he tried to at least check up and try to get back in front of traffic. But I believe that was Jensen Button that was also right there that spun him around. It's just how chaotic this restart was. There was just a lot of guys going into the gravel and they really couldn't see much there. And that was indeed the 15 of Jensen Button that Kyle Larson got hurt around from. Now this is actually from the 48 of Alex Bowman as we ride along with him. Look at him going way off track, way into the gravel. As this was another crazy restart here for a bunch of these guys. You see Kyle Larson spinning around in the background. Oh, gotta NBC it. But of course, we saw this multiple times for everybody here today, that everybody has been going way off track and into the gravel, reducing visibility for a lot of these drivers. Now we take a ride along here from Kyle Larson here as the visibility just reduces immediately, and Kyle Larson just has no time to react right there as it gets turned around by Jenson Button, who was trying to avoid all of the action, but Larson is able to keep it going here, and we are under our third caution already here at Sonoma Raceway with Kyle Larson spinning around, coming into turn number 3 and 4. We will attempt another restart here at Sonoma Raceway when we come back right after this. Welcome back to Sonoma Raceway, where we've had major implications taking place while we were away from commercial. Denny Hamlin in the number 11 has blown up here at Sonoma Raceway and is confirmed done here today. We don't have any good angles of Denny Hamlin blowing up, but we do have some pictures that we're going to showcase here with Denny Hamlin blowing up. There he is right there with smoke coming out of the car. And obviously, as you can tell, Denny Hamlin obviously is done for today, and this is going to be huge for Denny Hamlin as he entered in this race 6th in the championship standings. So he is going to be dropping back significantly here after this race here at Sonoma Raceway. As we restart here on lap number 13, 8 laps to go here at Sonoma Raceway as Shane Van Gisbergen continues to dominate here today. He has led every single lap here so far today, so that's not a surprise to everybody here. But he's trying to do the same thing like what Ryan Blaney did at Kansas Speedway, leading every single lap, get the victory, and jump up in points right now. But this restart, once again, is being chaotic as we're seeing a lot of guys way off track and into the gravel. We saw Ross Chastain and Alex Bowman also in the gravel once again. And oh my, and Ross Chastain almost got hurt around by Alex Bowman, and that would have been the exact same scenario like what we saw from Hocevar and Larson. Well, Chastain hasn't cleared away from Bowman yet because he is still right on the door of Ross Chastain onto the outside. And surprisingly, everybody seems to have negotiated through that turn pretty cleanly because normally that's the part of the track where I thought a lot of these guys are going to have issues. But it's mainly turns 3 and 4 that we've been also having been seeing these guys having a lot of issues because everybody's been going into the grass, and we've had two cautions come out from that portion of the track. So as we see Daniel Suarez just passed both Logano and Priest for the 7th place position, and Daniel Suarez, 5th race so far this season, and Daniel Suarez has had 0 top 5s and 0 top 10s. So Daniel Suarez really needs to at least try to improve his season right now as we see a little battle between Ryan Priest and Joey Logano. You see Priest get a little bit right there on the gravel trap right there. And obviously Ryan Priest needing this top 10 finish right now because obviously he's 33rd in points after having a pretty wild roller coaster at the start of the season for Ryan Priest, flipping over in the first 2 races. As we see, Daniel Suarez got a little bit of the gravel chute there, but obviously Ryan Priest at Bermuda Triangle a little over 2 weeks ago, he finally got his first top 20 finish of the season. Currently 33rd in the points right now, and Joey Logano having a much more impressive season right now as he's had a major comeback in points right now, where in the 2nd race of the season, Joey Logano found himself 25th in the point standings after Charlotte after 2 sour finishes. Now he currently finds himself 7th in the point standings right now. He actually almost won Bermuda Triangle a little over 2 weeks ago, so that's why he currently sits right now in the 7th place position in points as Shane Van Gisbergen, as we focus on right now, pulled away from Eric Jones like what we've saw through many other restarts right now, and you can see how the major difference between Shane and Eric Jones, as you see on the leaderboard. However, though, it looks like we do have a little bit of technical difficulties with our leaderboard right now. It is moving a little slow, but we'll hope to get that updated shortly. As already, just like that, we are already down with 5 laps to go here at the Toyota Save Mart 350, as you see a little bit of action going on between Brad Keselowski and Noah Gragson. And this is only for 20th because obviously we have not seen much action taking place at the front right now, so that's why we're seeing this action mid-pack right now as everybody's in the gravel once again. This is the exact same section like what we saw from many drivers getting into the gravel for many times before throughout this race, as things are starting to slowly ease here at Sonoma Raceway here. And we're going to pay attention to Chris Buescher and some of our top 3 championship contenders here. Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski both find themselves outside the top 20. And obviously Carson Hocevar, obviously with that spin, is nowhere near this pack. So this could potentially help out Truex Jr., but however though, he is currently running in the 18th position, so at the end of the day, this thing could go out either way. Truex Jr. can go back up to the top 3 in points, unless if the 3 guys, you know, Buescher, Keselowski, or Hocevar can somehow find a way to at least make a decent comeback. Obviously, Truex Jr. is struggling just a little bit, and did I just see that he just scraped the wall just a little bit? Yes, he did. You can see a little bit of damage right there on the right front of the passenger door of Truex Jr. Looks like he might have just scraped the wall there just a little bit, but hasn't fallen back a ton behind Ross Chastain right there on the 1. But a near disastrous moment right there for Truex Jr. in the 19. That could have been problematic for sure for the points, for sure, for Truex Jr. And obviously Alex Bowman in the 48, as we see right there, trying to make a comeback after a much recent collapse that he had in points after winning the Daytona 500. He currently finds himself in the 14th position right now. But I wouldn't say the same thing for the 1 of Ross Chastain, because he really needs to pick up the pace here. He currently finds himself 28th in points so far here in the NASCAR Fastenel Cup Series. He did have a pretty decent start of the season in the first 2 races, but then after having that tumble at Kansas, he really kind of fallen off. So he's really trying to pick up the pace. Both Chastain and Bowman are. I mean, both are inside the top 20. Ross Chastain is currently 17th, and Alex Bowman trying to get past Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for 13th, so that can help them out a little bit, but it will definitely not help them out a ton. A top 10 will definitely be needed for the 1 and the 48 for both of them to get closer up in points, as we see Bowman once again way down low below the track. We saw that multiple times from Alex Bowman today, as Austin Dillon trying to get past Alex Bowman once again, and Bowman once again gets into the gravel once again, so he's going to lose another position here. Now Bowman drops down to 15th. Oh, in big trouble! Truex Jr. is into the tire barrier along with the 1 of Ross Chastain. And we were just talking about the 1 of Ross Chastain and the 19 of Truex, and now all of a sudden they are now in the tire barriers in turns number 3. This is going to be huge for the both of those guys, especially for the 19 of Truex Jr., who is currently 4th in the championship standings.
No caution yet.
And with 2 laps to go here at Sonoma Raceway, the caution did not flew out. Remember, if the caution actually does come out, the race would have ended under caution, and which honestly, with there being no caution, I find that irrelevant, because on lap 8, we've had the exact same thing happen to Justin Haley, and they threw out the caution immediately, as we see Shane Van Gisbergen get into the gravel there a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of irrelevant that they did the exact same thing when Justin Haley hit the tire barriers on lap number 8, and yet they didn't throw the caution out for this one. Probably because if they would have threw out the caution, the race would have ended under caution. I guess they wanted to at least try to get this race finished on the green, as we do have 2 laps to go of this race as we come to the white flag here. But how about Shane Van Gisbergen? It should not have been a surprise, knowing that we're coming into this track. He's very good at road courses, and obviously we saw that right now. He has led every single lap so far, and he's about to take the white flag here. All 19 laps have been led so far, and this is going to be a great day for Shane Van Gisbergen, because not only that he won the pole, he's going to get the most laps led, and most likely the win if he doesn't screw it up here as we take the white flag here at Sonoma Raceway.
Here, still the same thing. Careful,
it has been a dominant day for Shane Van Gisbergen, obviously here at Sonoma Raceway, like what we saw IOL in the NASCAR Cup Series. He's going to get a bunch of extra points here by leading every single lap and getting the win here shortly. Eric Jones is going to have a great points-paying race here. That's going to help him out in points, including the 24 William Byron. Both are going to finish 2nd and 3rd here today, and Kyle Busch is going to come home in the 4th place position. It's going to be another great day for Kyle Busch. He's going to jump up in points. Easily a much-needed day for the 14 of Chase Briscoe. Not only that he's going to get his first top 10 of the season, he's going to get his first top 5 of the season here at Sonoma. So it's really going to be a much-needed day for the 14 of Chase Briscoe for sure. But a very important day for SVG in the number 91, as he is about to enter in the final corners of this race to become the 2nd driver to not only lead every single lap, but to win the race here at the same event. Coming into turn number 11, SVG out of the final 2 turns here today, here in wine country. Just like what he did IOL, Shane Van Gisbergen in virtual reality is going to end up winning here at the Sonoma Mountains here in the first road course race of the season.
Yeah. Unreal, guys. Thank you.
And of course, a surprise to absolute no one, Shane Van Gisbergen completely dominates the field here at Sonoma Raceway. Eric Jones with a second place finish. That's going to help him out in points tremendously, as well as the 14 of Chase Briscoe, who is just coming out of the final two turns now. As he comes across the start finish line, he's going to finish inside the top 5, his first top 10 and first top 5 of the season, by finishing home in the 5th place position. A much-needed day for sure for the 14 of Chase Briscoe, as well as a much-needed day for the 99 of Daniel Suarez. He comes home in 6th. So Logano is going to finish 7th here, and Ryan Preece in 8th place. A much-needed day for him for sure for the 41. Ty Gibbs comes home in the 9th place position, and unofficially rounding up the top 10 is Chase Elliott in the number 9 and 10th. Obviously, we saw a lot of stuff happening here in the last 2 laps of this race, and it's really going to be, especially after what happened to Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin. But apparently Ryan Preece, however, though, did have a little moment on the final lap of this race. As he took the white flag, I believe Ryan Preece is going to scrape the wall right there, and that really cost him a little bit there, but he did not lose a lot of momentum. That's exactly what happened to Truex Jr. a couple laps ago. You see Ty Gibbs in the grass. That's what caused Ryan Preece to get in front of Ty Gibbs for 8th. But of course, the biggest moment happened a lap prior to that, as you see Truex Jr. and Ross Chastain, as they've been literally going at it since this previous restart here. As we see Truex trying to make a move right there, just did not work out at all. And that's exactly what we saw from Michael McDowell and the 7 of Justin Haley back on lap number 8. And also, by the way, this was for the 17th place position. And I get it's the closing laps. You're trying to be aggressive and whatnot. I mean, I understand the championship's on the line. That is just a scenario of somebody trying to fight hard for the win and refuse to lose, even though they were in 17th. And now, let's ride along with Truex Jr. as he's trying to take a move right there on the outside with Ross Chastain, and it just closed up immediately. That's exactly what we saw from Justin Haley and Michael McDowell. But this is going to be huge for Truex Jr. in the points, as he was in 4th in the championship standings. So now he's probably going to be out of the top 5 at this point. This is more than likely probably going to keep Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski, and Carson Hocevar in the top 3, despite them having bad results. And this is also going to be bad for Ross Chastain, knowing that he's 28th in points, so he's probably going to be out of the top 30 in points at this point. However, though, this is only race 5 of the series, so no driver can be mathematically eliminated yet here prior into here, because we still got at least 10 more races to go before the champion is actually determined, so there's still plenty of opportunities for these guys to catch up. But obviously, we could expect some eliminations at least until race 7 or race 8. So Ross Chastain's going to have to be very careful within these next couple races and needs to avoid having terrible results unless he'll be eliminated early on in the series. Now time to take a look at your results here for the Toyota Save Mart 350. Shane Van Gisbergen, like what we expected, completely dominated this race as he had a 7-second lead over Eric Jones and William Byron. He led every single lap here at this race. He's the second driver to do so in this series in race number 5, as Ryan Blaney did the same thing not even 2 races ago. So pretty impressive what we're seeing here with these results. Obviously, Eric Jones, a much-needed second-place finish. William Byron, Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, obviously with a much-needed top 5 here today. Then Daniel Suarez, 6, Joey Logano, Ryan Preece, Ty Gibbs, and Chase Elliott obviously rounds up the top 10 as we mentioned them before we looked at those replays. So they round up the top 10. Great days for all of them. And how about Daniel Hemrick, ending up coming home in the 11th place position. Pretty good finish for him, as well as AJ Allmendinger, road course winner. Stenhouse continues his silent but strong start to the season. And then we have Dylan Bowman and Barry McDowell. Brad Keselowski, if I'm being told, he actually finished ahead of Chris Buescher. So this is probably going to put Brad Keselowski as the championship points lead as of right now. As he did finish home in the 18th position. But Chris Buescher, however, though, came home in 22nd. That's going to at least drop him to 2nd in points as he comes home in 22nd. And obviously, Kyle Larson, Carson Hocevar, who were involved in spins in this race, comes home in 24th and 27th. So not a good day for Carson Hocevar or Larson either. how about Cody Ware coming home in 28th? So maybe that can help him from preventing him from being booted, but I'm not sure. But Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell, once again, did not have a great finish here today. They were not able to come back here, including the 45 of Tyler Reddick. Those three cars were just pretty slow today, and Catherine Legg was the last car on the lead lap with Jonathan Nemechek, who was very, very slow, ends up a lap down here in this race. And then, of course, we got Chastain, Truex, Hamlin, and Haley, the four cars that were unable to finish this race. Obviously, big hitters, Truex and Hamlin, both 4th and 6th in the championship standings. So they're going to be dropping back significantly as they only score 3 and 2 points here after the day at Sonoma. And just like what we thought, Martin Truex Jr. does indeed drop in the points. Now he drops from 4th all the way back down to 9th. So that is not a good position if you're Martin Truex Jr., especially after leading the points. And now look at the top right here. Now Brad Keselowski now takes the championship lead after he gets in front of Chris Buescher after he finishes 18th while Buescher finished 22nd. Now it's between 3 points between the two of them, as now Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Joey Logano ends up moving into the top 4. Stenhouse now moves up to 3rd, Logano now up to 4th, and William Byron moves himself up into the 5th place position. That is a pretty interesting battle going on between those guys, because it is the top 5 right now is currently separated by 8 points. It's still a pretty tight race for the championship lead. Denny Hamlin also with a big collapse as he was 6th in the standings. Now he's back down to 12th in the standings. But a couple of noticeable changes here in the points as Chase Briscoe was 27th in points, now jumps up to 20th. Kyle Busch, who was 12th in points, now jumps up to 7th in points. And a couple of noticeable drivers that dropped in points, that being Ross Chastain, obviously involved in that last accident that took place. He drops from 28th, now all the way down to 33rd, so now he finds himself 3rd last in points. Justin Haley also was the first car eliminated from this race after being caught up in an accident. He goes from 16th all the way down to 24th. Bubba Wallace as well, who was 19th, then falls back down to 23rd, as well as Tyler Reddick, who went from 18th all the way down to 22nd. So we have a lot of guys here that actually dropped down significantly in points, and a lot of guys that went up significantly in points. So a bit swinging up here in the point standings, as of course Chris Buescher drops down to 2nd. Brad Keselowski now finds himself as the points leader, and of course you see Shane Van Gisbergen now with the win column under his belt. With that win and all those extra points combined, he goes up significantly from 26th in points all the way up to 17th in points. And like I said, man, this point system is dramatic, because even if you're on top of the charts, if you had one bad day, you can drop down significantly. And that's the purpose of the point system. But hey, I didn't come up with it, IndyCar did. So you can blame them for me adapting the system to the series. So, Well, and just like that, our first road course race is now officially in the books. For our next race, we'll now be going back into an oval, and instead, we're going to be going back to a triangle track, that being Pocono Raceway, for race number 6 of the series. It's going to be a challenge for all of these drivers, as they're going to be moving on to the tricky triangle in the Pocono Mountains. And you know what? I'm going to break the 4th wall here on the air, but we actually do have a lot of races already recorded. So expect a lot more of these races to come out sooner rather than later, because originally this race was supposed to be out on October 10th. Instead, it comes out here on this Saturday on October 4th. So hey, it's going to be an amazing couple of weeks here for the NASCAR Fastenel Cup Series. But tonight, we're going to sign things off here at Sonoma Raceway. It was a wild race from start to finish. A lot of big namers caught up in accidents and spins. A huge shakeup in points as multiple big namers drop significantly and multiple namers go up significantly. And a road course winner, that means Shane Van Gisbergen, with a dominant performance, gets the win here at Sonoma Raceway, just like what he did IRL. That's it for Sonoma Raceway. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Until the next video comes out, we'll hope to see you guys then. God bless you, and we'll see you guys at the Pocono Mountains. So long!